Okay. So one of the topics that has been really top of mind for me this past month has been understanding the difference between our mind, our emotions, and our intuition, because we can get those mixed up a lot. And I know that I personally used to always ask myself, like, is this my anxiety or is it my intuition? Which is so funny because they're so different, but when we're feeling it, it just feels like this soup of emotions and it's hard to separate them. And sometimes it's hard to separate, like, is this my mind? Is this my fear? Is it my intuition? Is it my emotions? Like, what is it that's speaking to me in this moment? And I think that it's important to be able to discern between the three. And I've been getting a lot of downloads around this. And even as I was getting ready for this meeting, I kept getting more downloads to share with you guys. But on a very basic level, the way that you know the difference between the three is that your mind thinks. So if it's a thought, if you're thinking, it's your mind. Your emotions feel. So if you're feeling something, sadness, anger, happiness, joy, peace, it's your emotions. If you know something, if it's an inner knowing, if it's something that you're like, I just know this, I don't know how, it's this message, it keeps coming up over and over again, that's your intuition. So your mind thinks, your emotions feel, and your intuition knows. And if you're someone who does struggle with understanding like the difference between your anxiety and your intuition, one of the things I've heard in the past that I thought was a really good explanation is that your anxiety is loud and it's just like super frantic and loud energy, where your intuition is actually quiet. And it's like a constant, like, this is what it is. It's a knowing, it's gentle. It's not loud, banging energy like anxiety is. So that's how you can start to kind of discern the difference between the two. And some of the downloads I was getting even right before this session is that most of us live life up here. And we live in a society that keeps us living up here. And what I mean by that is that we go from our eyes, what we see, to our mind, right? Like if we think about our phones, there's a constant, what am I seeing? And then I move into, what do I think? And so what society does is it keeps us up here. And what that means is we're neglecting moving down here. And what's down here is our heart, which is our intuition, our body, our feeling, our sense of knowing, our emotions. And so, and this is, I think, like part of the bigger picture of like, if we can keep people up here, then they're not going in here and they're actually detached from their power. Because if all I'm doing is what am I consuming and what do I think about what I'm consuming, and I'm bouncing back and forth between these two, I'm not tapping into my own power. I'm not tapping into my own energy. I'm tapping into what I am being fed. I'm tapping into what I'm being given. I'm tapping into what I'm being told. And I'm creating my reality, my thoughts, and my beliefs from this space. And so we then remain disconnected from ourselves, our authentic truth, our alignment, our knowing, our power, our intuition, our heart, which is our compass. And so today, what I want to do is I want to help you get back into your body. And this is why we're going to be working with our senses, because if we can work with our senses, if we're more in tune with our body, it's going to help us get back into our bodies. And then from being in our body, that's where we're going to start to tap into, okay, let me go into my Akashic records. Okay, let's tap into intuition and channeling and energy. That's why we have such a hard time doing that. Why do you think we have a hard time meditating? Because we're just like, this is always going. I used to struggle so hard with meditating because I would be like, I can't meditate because I'm thinking about what am I going to make for dinner? And what, my mind can't go silent. Why? Because we're used to like feed your mind always. Social media, scrolling, emails, texts, phone calls, TV, movies, it's everywhere. Like I was at the gym earlier and there's just TVs everywhere. The news is everywhere. I don't like to watch the news, but it's at the gym, it's just everywhere, so we're constantly being fed things. And that keeps us looking externally instead of shifting internally. So we're going to do a series of exercises today, and we're going to move deeper and deeper and deeper with each one into your intuition so that you start to see how you can actually channel answers for yourself. So we're going to start with a really simple exercise. And what we're going to do is I'm going to say something, and then you're going to start to decipher between the three. So I'm going to say a word. And when I say the word, I want you to first notice your instant reaction to it. And we're just observing, we're not judging ourselves or anything that comes up. Just notice your instant reaction. And if you have a journal, you can write it down. What's my instant reaction? Write it down. And then I'm going to move you through 3 different phases. The first one is going to be, okay, now when I say the word, what's the thought that comes up? And you can write it down. And then again, okay, now when I say the word, what's the feeling that comes up? And you're going to write it down. And then lastly, I'm going to say the word again. And then you'll move into, okay, what do you know? What do you feel in your intuition? What do you know when I say that word? So we're going to start to just kind of begin to separate these areas, and then we'll move into an even deeper exercise with it. Okay, so I want you guys to close your eyes, and I'm going to help you shift your energy first into your body, and then we're going to move into the exercise. So go ahead and start by just taking a deep breath in and out. And again, deep breath in and out. And one last time, deep breath in and out. And I'm going to start by just placing a gold ball of energy right above your head. It's going to look like honey. And I'm going to move it down into your head. And it's going to move in a circle horizontally, just gathering up all of the energy that's in your headspace right now. And as it gathers it all up, I'm going to move that ball of energy along with all the energy that was in your head down your face, down your neck, down into your chest, making its way into your heart. And it's going to begin to fill up your heart space, just completely filling it up so that all of your energy is in your heart. And your heart is your intuition. So now that all of your energy is there, I'm going to say a word, and I want you to just notice your instant reaction to it. Again, we're not going to judge it. We're just going to observe it. And go ahead and write it down. So the word is love. Notice your instant reaction when I say love. So now I'm going to say it again, and I want you to notice what you think, what thought comes up when I say the word love. And now we're going to move into feeling. So I want you to notice what you feel in your body when I say love. And lastly, we're going to move into knowing. So I want you to notice, what do you know in your heart, in your intuition when I say love? Beautiful. Okay, so go ahead and just take a deep breath in and out, releasing all that energy that just came up for you. You can even shake your arms, move your body to just kind of shake that energy out. And when you're ready, you can come back into this space. Were you guys able to separate the three? How was that for you?
I feel like I really had a hard time with the feeling one, with the emotion one. Like I couldn't really identify it, and I felt like I got taken over by what I think I should feel. But I did feel like I was able to do the intuition one.
Ooh, that's good. Okay. But that makes sense that it's like, because I know a lot of your energy exists up here. So it makes sense that your mind was like, let me tell you what you should be feeling. But we're going to work on that so that you can instead just feel. And because we want to be like, right now, it's almost like your emotions don't have a say, or they don't have like a seat at the table. And I feel like they're trying to scoot in. And I think that's why, like on Monday, what happened, I think your emotions, it was almost like I'm picturing like a little kid that like got on the table and was like, hello, can you hear me? And they just kind of like were trying to get your attention and took over for a bit, because they're like, we just want, like, can we just have like a seat at the table and also like have a voice? So, but your intuition is very powerful. So I feel like the fact that you were able to tap into that is really good. Yeah, I love that. How is that for everybody else?
I don't know. I think I had a hard time
Mm.
with, because the first time you said the word, I had the image of what I see, but then I just kept thinking around that. I don't know. I don't even know
Like
if
you
I did this
stayed
right.
there.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way. It's okay. Like, because what's going to happen is a lot of us, like, the reason why we're tapping into all of our senses today is because we want to see, like, where are your senses stronger? Some of us have stronger senses than other, but when you open up all of them, then you can pick up something, right? Versus if I was telling all of you, you all have to see something, then some of you would be able to, some of you would struggle. But if I'm like, tap into all of it, knowing, seeing, feeling, smelling, tasting, all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I tasted something. Like, let's say if I was to give us all cherries, but we all only had one sense. And I'm like, okay, everyone eat a cherry. And then Christina can tell us it's red, and Talia can tell us it tastes like this, and Natalie can tell us it feels like this. Then we can bring all that together. And are any of our observations wrong? No, they all actually complete a picture. And everyone could have a different, stronger sense, but you don't know that unless you fully like allow yourself to explore. So it sounds like you were able to see it. Is that what was coming up for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately, but then I guess I was thinking too much, because with everything else, I was like, am I supposed to feel something around what I saw and what I think when I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was the thinking energy, but that's okay. Because the exercise we're going to do next is really going to move you guys into your body. But I intentionally wanted you guys to do this and kind of observe, like, what happens when I try to do this? Where does my energy go? Am I able to move it from here to here, or is it just like, so it sounds like it kind of stayed here and like you created a visual. Yeah. And that's okay. That's not wrong. It's just for you to observe and to know like, okay, so maybe I do have a lot of energy. And also this week, right? Like you were saying, this week has just been a lot. So it makes sense that your head was like, it's just on, that's what's active for you right now.
Definitely.
Yeah. How is it for you, Natalie?
It was good. So when you said, like, what do you think about, or when you hear the word love, um, my first thought was like, it's hard work. But then as soon as you said, how does it feel? Or like, what do you know? The intuition part, I instantly like said back as I was like, it's hard work, but it's so beautiful.
Mm,
Um, and this is a safe space, I hope.
yes.
So the reason why I had to like quickly go off camera is because someone was knocking at my door and I checked and it was my ex. I also
Perfect timing, X. Come on in, join the meeting.
I also just got out of an 8-year relationship with him, and he showed up and I was like, I'm in the middle of a meeting. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I brought you your favorite salad because I know you're never gonna ask me for it. And I was like, you're damn right. I was like, but I have to go back. And
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, and that happened right before the exercise?
yeah, right before the exercise. That's why I had to like get off camera because I went to and answered the door. And he's like, yeah, I brought you your favorite salad because I know you're not going to ask me for it. So it's on me to bring it to you. And I was like, okay, but I have a meeting.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah.
The timing of that.
Yeah.
But it makes sense why your mind was like, it wouldn't surprise me if you kind of went into the exercise holding like that experience that you just had.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of where I was like, it's hard work, but I mean, it's beautiful. So
Do you, well, and I don't, because I don't want to say love is not hard work, because I do think there's truth to that. But do you think that it always has to be hard work? Do you think that
no.
there can be ease around it?
Yeah, because when I was thinking about it, I was like, it's hard work, but I feel like in the beginning to like kind of establish, because I feel like in any relationship, it's a little bit like a learning curve where you're like getting to know another person and like just what they like, what they don't like, how they are, and like moving in is like something, a whole different ball game, and things like that. So yeah, I think in the beginning it's maybe not hard work, but like,
Just work,
yeah, just work.
intention. Yeah.
And then after it's like easy sailing.
Interesting. Okay. And
It's
how
like
do you feel now after that experience?
uh, confused. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I think something I really want you guys to know is that there's nothing wrong with your emotions, and there's no such thing as bad emotions. It's valid to feel happy, angry, scared, confused, sad, overwhelmed, anxious, afraid, happy, peaceful. Obviously there's like a group of emotions that we tend to want to categorize as bad, but an emotion isn't bad. An emotion just is. It's what you're feeling. What can be bad is the action you take because of the emotion, right? Like, let's say if someone makes me mad, I can be mad. It's a feeling. It's valid for me to be angry. If I slap someone because I'm mad, the action is bad, right? But does that make the emotion bad? No, it's an emotion and it's valid to feel that way. So it's, your emotions aren't the thing that is bad. It's valid, observe it, hold space for it, honor it, but notice the actions that you then take because of the emotion, because that's where we can get ourselves in trouble sometimes. Right? But without judgment, if you can just say, oh, I'm angry, that's okay. I'm happy, that's okay. I'm sad, that's okay. Right? Like no judgment. If you're confused right now, great. Hold space for that. Honor that.
I'm confused and a little emotional, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's valid. I mean, of course you are. Like, dude, what? Bring me my salad? Of course I'm not gonna ask you, what the heck? Like, of course you feel that way. And like you're in your power when you let yourself feel that way. And don't neglect it. It's okay. Ooh, we're gonna release. I can already feel it. That's why my sage was going crazy. Okay. It's okay, Natalie. I'm sending you a big hug. This is gonna help you. Like let this exercise we're doing next, you guys, let this be your release. Now I understand why I was feeling called to do this with you guys. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get in our body. And whatever needs to come out, let it come out. If you're mad, angry, overwhelmed, sad, happy, just like let it. Let this be. This is a safe space. We're all going to hold a safe space for each other. We're going to get into our bodies and know that it is safe to get into our bodies. So first thing I want you to do is light whatever you have for scent, whether it's candle or you guys might already have it lit, candle, incense, sage, whatever you brought, light that first. So we'll start with smell. So go ahead and have that.
I realize I have a candle, but I don't have any fire, so I'm just gonna keep it real close.
Okay, no worries. No worries at all. You can just kind of sniff it every now and then. Okay, so make sure you have that. And then go ahead and put, and you guys have something to hold. Perfect. And then do you have something to draw or color? And technically that could also count as holding, but I would say like maybe in your left hand, like let's say you're right-handed and your left hand hold whatever you brought, and then you can use your other hand to draw or write. And then whatever you brought to eat or taste, go ahead and put that in your mouth. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play some music. And as you listen to the music, I want you to draw. And this isn't going to be a drawing you're going to show us. You're not going to hang this up anywhere. It doesn't have to look any certain way. You're just going to draw whatever you're feeling based on the music, what's coming up in your body. Just trust whatever you want to draw. It's not supposed to be pretty. It's just releasing. If you have different colors, change the colors as the music leads you to. But you're going to notice you're tasting, smelling, feeling, seeing, hearing, all at the same time. Okay. So let me go ahead and play some music. And I'm going to do it on my phone because sometimes when I do it on my laptop, it's hard to hear. Can you guys hear? Okay, let me try doing it on my laptop. I just have to share. Oh, I have to close it on my phone. Oh. Let's just do this. It's because I need to take out my headphones. You guys hear it?
I believe only in love.
You hear that or no? Okay. Go ahead and start.
Everything that's on earth has meaning. Even if this world is level to ground. Even if the seas dry up and the mountains wear down. Love will live forever.
You guys can't hear? Okay. Let me see. I don't know why my Spotify is not opening. Let me try putting my headphones back in. Let me try. Let's see. Is that it? No. Okay. Let me try opening it because for some reason my Spotify won't open on my computer. Let me try. Can you hear the music? Okay, perfect. All right, let's try that. Thanks, guys.
I believe only in love. Everything else on earth lacks meaning. Even if this world is level to the ground. Even if the seas dry up and the mountains wear down. Love will live forever in the infinite universe. Forever in the infinite
Do you guys want another song or do you feel good stopping there? How are you guys feeling? You're good? Okay. How is that? How do you feel? How are you feeling?
So for me, without even really listening to the lyrics of what they were saying, I was drawing kind of like infinity signs,
Mm,
just like in a long, 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 long string.
It looks
Mhm.
like your intuition kind of was like took over.
Mhm.
Yeah. And how do you feel?
Mm, Still confused, but a little bit angry.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anger is good. I know we don't usually hear that, but anger is good. It means you're processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Mm,
Mhm.
yeah. We hold space for all those emotions. All of our emotions are valid. Yeah. Mm. Anyone else want to share?
I felt like I was like, what do I know how to draw?
Your mind was like, what can I draw? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But I didn't have the colors that I would normally choose, so I guess just had to go with what I had.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I felt like I was thinking.
The whole time, or do you feel like you were able to kind of stop thinking?
Maybe a little bit. Like I feel more calm just in general.
Good.
Like sometimes you don't realize like how much your thoughts are like making you like, and I feel
Mhm.
like more like relaxed.
Yeah.
But I still like was like, oh, like I drew a butterfly and I was like, well, okay, now I can draw a sun, but the sun should go above the butterfly. Like it can't just be on the bottom of the page. So like there's still a
Mm,
lot of thinking involved.
yeah.
But I ended with a swirl. So that didn't make
You're like, we'll be a little messy.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's still a lot, like you said, a lot of thinking. And this
Yeah.
is actually a good exercise for you to do if you want to practice more like being in your emotions, like just play music. And because, that's kind of why at the start I said, you're not going to show this to us. Because if I had said that, you guys would probably be like, oh my gosh, I gotta like, make something really pretty now. But, practice just like playing music and just like, and I like literally just start doodling and just see like what happens, where it goes. And that'll help you move more into your body too. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. How is it for you, Christina?
It wasn't as much thinking. So in a way, it just was calming and soothing for me. I think it was nice to not think and to just doodle and just,
Yeah,
especially since it's been a heavy week. It was just, I don't know.
good, good. I like that. And that was the goal. I wanted you guys to feel more grounded. And sometimes when we do get more in our body, that does mean we feel more, like Natalie's feeling anger because she's more in her body. So her body's like, hello, like what just happened? I don't like this, and that's okay. Okay, so my goal or intention next was for us to move into doing like an exercise for your intuition, um and then going to the Akashic records, but I'm kind of wondering if we should do that next week and like sit more with this energy today. But how do you guys feel? Like, do you want to do into like a more intuitive exercise, or do you feel like you kind of are where we're at right now?
I'm down for intuition work.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of like wake up our intuition so that we can go into our Akashic records. So I'm going to take us all to a place together. And this could essentially be kind of, it could be either one of two things. It could be either kind of like astral traveling, or you could even be tapping into a past life when we do this exercise. So yeah, again, just trust yourself, trust whatever comes up, and have your notebook ready because we'll journal around the experience, and just see what comes up. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes. And you're already in your intuition, you're already in your body. So using your third eye or your imagination, we're going to take ourselves to when the pyramids were being created in Egypt. And as you begin to arrive there, you're going to start to notice where you are, who you are, or what you are. Maybe you're a cloud in this visual, maybe you're a queen, one of the leaders, one of the labor workers. Maybe an insect. Just notice where you find yourself when you come here. Notice what or who you are. And just kind of let it play out like a movie. Just see what happens. And use your senses. Seeing, feeling. Can you feel the heat? Do you smell anything? Do you know anything? Just going to let you observe for a moment. And just go ahead and begin to wrap up whatever you're seeing, feeling, or experiencing. And to help you come back in, just go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. And when I snap my fingers, you can open your eyes and begin journaling around what you experienced. Okay, go ahead and begin journaling. And when you're done, feel free to just like kind of give a brief description in the chat box of what you saw, what you felt, who you were, what you were. Talia said, I think I was just myself, but dressed in more traditional clothing. And did walking into the pyramid. It was dark, damp, and cold, couldn't see much. When I turned around to leave, the doorway was very far away, further distance than I had walked in. I kept walking toward the doorway, but the doorway just kept moving away from me. Eventually, a man stood at the doorway, but again, I couldn't get to him because the doorway kept moving away from me, but I felt like I was supposed to get to him. Interesting. I feel like that's like, there's like a message for you there. So sit with that because your intuition is strong. So sit with that and ask your guides to interpret that for you, whether it's in a dream or you might just get a knowing or clarity because it's almost like a dream that with like an interpretation and message. Christina said, I was trying to imagine myself as I am now, but started seeing a bird soaring above an open area. Pyramids were in early stages being built. There were piles of rock and stone for the building. I saw 2 tents. One had a young woman being sheltered from sun. The other tent had beautiful crystal stones in it. Oh, that sounds very beautiful. Yeah. And then Natalie said, I was a princess who felt secure under her daddy. I don't use that word. I got in trouble for being friendly with staff. Yeah, class society issues. I kept looking up to the workers, but never left because of the sand and heat. Immediately recognized why I don't like the feeling of sand. Yeah, when I did this the first time, I caught on so many things that I was like, oh, now that like I see that play out in this lifetime. So some of you So for example, Natalie went to a past life. Talia, you experienced like a message within the meditation. So there's like a message for you there. And then Christina, let me see. I feel like yours is almost like a mix of like a past life, but also you just going back there and like in time now just to see it. I feel like yours is more like you just went there to see it, like more astral traveling. Like, I don't even think you had, it feels like you didn't have a past life there, but you went to see it, if that makes sense. Whereas like Natalie probably had a past life there. Okay. So this kind of like helped to wake up your intuition. So now we can go into the Akashic records if you guys want to. Do you want to do that? How are you guys feeling? You're good? Okay. So I want you guys to hold whatever question you have, if you have one, or whatever area of life you want clarity on. I think some of you have you guys been to the Akashic records before? I don't know if you guys have or haven't.
I haven't been personally, but I've had mine read.
Okay. I know Christina, you did the program with me.
With you, I mean,
Mhm.
I tried.
You're like, I tried. Oh, and Talia, you did Nikki's. Okay.
Yeah, again, I tried. I don't think I was successful.
Gotcha. Okay. That's okay. It takes practice because it takes a lot of concentration, but we're here to do that. So, and I'm going to help you guys do the readings. So I want you to just hold, and actually, if you guys can type in the chat box what you want to know about, then I can help you do the reading.
Is asking for an interpretation of my message an okay question, or is that different?
Yeah, no, I think you should. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so let me look at yours. Oh, yes, the doorway that kept moving away. Okay. Doorway that kept moving. Yeah, that way I can go in with you guys. It'll just help me to channel faster since I'll have to kind of move between my phone.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Since I had my Akashic records read, there's a question that I have about that.
Yeah, that's
Is
fine.
that okay?
Yeah. What's your question?
So I was told that I lost I guess my love in like a weird accident, and I felt like it was my fault
Mm,
for like never, I guess, getting there on time, or something. So I think that's why she said that that's why I'm so like big on quality time
mm,
now, because she says like I carry that guilt around.
Okay. And what's your question around that?
Like basically what happened to my love.
Mm. Okay. Mm. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then Christina, okay, if you're moving soon. Messages are moving. Okay. Perfect. My goal is that you guys will see something hopefully, but
Can I ask a logistics question?
yeah, of course.
So, like, when you're meditating and you're supposed to be like, I don't know, envisioning yourself, like even for like the exercise we just did,
Mhm.
sometimes I have trouble imagining it like as myself. I more imagine like watching myself do something versus
Mhm.
like it being me in the experience.
Mhm.
Is there an important difference and distinction in that, or is it just like it is what it is?
Not really, because Like, for example, when I would first go in to see past lives, I wouldn't seem like me. It was more like I would see it kind of like a movie. And then when I started working on my own with my guides, they started literally changing the way I was taught to, because like the way I was taught to go into past lives was like literally go into it. And then my guides taught me to see it more like a movie. And if you guys have done a past life healing with me, you know, I take you and you see it as a projector on a screen. And the reason why is because a lot of times past lives are traumatic or they were like a hard experience. So I don't want to go in because I'm like, that doesn't sound fun. Like, I don't want to experience that again, you know? So it's probably what I think it could be is like your soul being like, I don't need to feel it. I can just observe it and like see what happened, see what's happening. And that's okay too. So it could just be you being just observing it almost like from a different angle, a different point of view, but there's nothing wrong or bad about it. It's just like, you know, if I was holding this cup and we're all in a room together, we're all going to see different angles of it, and no angle is wrong or bad. It's just a different perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So you guys are familiar with Akashic records. I don't need to explain them. Okay. So let's go in and see what happens. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And right where you are, I want you to picture using your third eye. We're going to start to move our energy. So you're going to almost like picture yourself beginning to float upward, making your way out of your home. And because you're a soul, you can literally just go through roofs and walls, floating up above your home, continuing to move up until you begin to see your city below you. Continuing to float upward till you start to see your state. And then your country. And then the world. You'll notice you're out in the galaxy. And as you're floating up above the earth, you're going to notice a tunnel, a white tunnel. You're going to float towards that. And you're going to go into the tunnel. And as you go in, you're going to start moving quickly. And it's going to get light and dark as you move through this tunnel. And then you're going to land on the other side. And as you land here, you're going to notice that there's a big white building in front of you. And you'll know that it's the Akashic Records. So you'll walk towards the building, up the steps, opening the big doors, stepping in, being greeted by the librarian. She's going to hand you your key. Taking the key and beginning to make your way to your room. And as you approach your room, you're going to open the door and step in with your question, with your intention. And as you step in, you're going to notice that there's a guide there. And they're going to hand you a note card. And they're going to ask you to write down what your question is or what you want to know in that note card. And you're going to hand it back to them. And they're going to look at it And they're going to motion for you to follow them. And they're going to take you to a specific area in your Akashic Records room where you will find the answer. And as they take you there, they're going to point towards a book. And as you reach for the book, you're going to notice that they walk away, holding the book in your hands. And then you're going to open the book. And when you open it, it's almost like something begins to play, like you're taken into a scene. And you're going to begin to experience your answer in whatever way, shape, or form it comes to you. Could be through words on the book, a visual, a knowing, a seeing, a smelling, a sensing. There's no right or wrong here. Just allow yourself to see, feel, know, sense, read, touch. And I'm going to go to each one of you to help you in your room. Christina, are you seeing, feeling, knowing, reading anything?
I mean, I can see myself there. I can see an image of a home, which
Mhm.
I've seen before, like in my mind, but I'm not, you know, I guess, I don't know if this is something that I need to work on aggressively, if I need to be patient with, if this is, because we've talked about this a little, and I'm not getting, I guess, anything more than just seeing an image of a home. So,
Okay, so you're seeing the image. And when you see the image, what do you feel?
I'm sorry, what do I feel?
Yeah, what do you feel?
I guess comfort. Joy.
So it brings a lot of positive emotions.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so they're showing you the home, what it looks like, what it feels like. So what do you want to know?
I guess it just feels right now to me so unattainable.
Mm,
So I just don't know if it's something that
And what was the question you wrote down on the
I
note
guess
card?
I don't. I guess any messages around that. I don't know if that's too vague or if it's something that I would be
No,
moving soon.
I mean, I can channel them. I'm just trying to kind of like stretch your intuition right now. So what did you write on the note card?
If I would be moving soon and what messages there would be, if there are any messages regarding finding a new home.
Okay. So you asked if you'll be moving soon and if there's messages, and then the answer they're giving you, at least initially, is a picture of a home that you've seen before. Have you seen it in person, or is it just like in your
In my
imagination?
imagination, I guess.
Okay. Okay, so I want you to ask a specific question and say it out loud.
I guess, will I find, or will I be moving within a year's time?
What does your heart say?
Oh, I don't know if it's my heart or my head.
What are you hearing?
No.
Okay. Ask another question. I almost feel like, okay, this is me like butting in, but I want you to ask, is it sooner? What is your
Is it
heart
sooner?
saying? Yeah, what does your heart say to that?
I hear maybe.
Mm. And what feelings come up?
I guess what goes in my head, it's not feeling. I'm just like the how.
Mm.
And like, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Which I
And
realize may be a silly question, but
no, because what I'm hearing is like how, because the messages I'm hearing, like the first one was, it's gonna happen as soon as you decide. And then like, because it actually feels sooner, where like when you asked, is it in a year? And the answer was no. I could feel in your energy, it was like sad, you know, but then they're like, well, what if it's sooner? And then that kind of like lit up your energy again. But then your head comes in is like, and then it's like, but how? And your guides are there. The answer to that is they're saying, like, how have you manifested before?
okay.
When you think about what you've done before to manifest, what have you done?
I just really focus on the things I want. I let people know if it's something, I guess, like this, that I want this or I'm looking.
Yeah, that's your how. Because your brain is it's trying to calculate the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
they're
Miami.
like,
Just seems
which is funny because your guides are like, Miami, what? Like, like we exist in the universe where like nothing is impossible. They're like, oh, Miami, no big deal.
okay.
Like, do you think Miami's too big for us? Is kind of what they're saying. It's so funny. They're like kind of insulted.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, not in a bad way, but they're just kind of
Yeah.
like, do you really think we're not bigger than Miami? Like,
Okay.
you
I
know,
need to
like,
remember that.
yeah. And they kind of are saying, like, let us show you what we can do. But they're saying your how is go back to how you manifest, do those things, don't worry about the numbers. They're saying, like, let us, like, I'm literally seeing them doing like, they're doing like accounting, like they're the ones like crunching the numbers and figuring that out. They're like, okay, that's the issue, like, let us handle that. Just manifest it. They're saying that's what they're saying, like, just like manifest it, do what you would normally do, and like we'll take care of the rest.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it can happen sooner than a year if you wanted to. It's not about time and it's not about money. And I know that that's hard because we live in a world that's very time and money, but don't focus on that. Focus on what you want. They'll take care of the how.
Oh, that makes sense. Because I get in my head a lot about like, okay, if I do this, the kid's school and the location, and there's like some fear, I don't know why, with me around that,
Yeah.
of like shaking things up, I guess, and change.
So then this is where you get to decide, like, either there isn't those changes in your manifestation, or if there are, then they actually put you on a better path. Right? Like, if it's like, oh, either you decide I want to manifest this, but with these, or
Mhm.
or it has to be better for all of us. So they're saying, don't worry about the how or when, worry about the what.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Talia, what are you seeing, feeling, what's coming up for you?
I was struggling to, I felt like I was looking at a book and it was just like in cursive in another language, and like the pictures were like abstract. And so I couldn't really like interpret anything.
Mm,
I did feel a lot of anxiety,
mm,
but that's kind of mostly what I was feeling and seeing.
okay. And what did you write on the note card?
I wrote, what is the message that I was supposed to receive from the exercise we just did?
Okay. Yeah, what I keep hearing is like, I can't. I keep hearing that phrase, I can't. Like, I can't reach the door. I can't read the writing. I can't. Do you feel like that's something you kind of tell, like, hear often or tell yourself or feel often, like, I can't do this? Is that something that comes up a lot for you?
I don't think so. I feel like I'm generally a pretty like positive person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess maybe the past couple days, maybe. But even
Mm-hmm.
in then, I'm like, it's okay, just trust, like it'll be okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like in general, I am pretty positive and like do think I can somehow.
Yeah. Because the way I'm hearing it is like, I can't connect. Let me see. Let me just ask them for more clarity. I don't know. It's like something around like a goal. Do you have like a goal that you feel like you can't obtain?
I mean, I think the work with like the functional medicine stuff
Mm-hmm.
has been something I've been feeling like I can't do because I don't have certain credentials.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, yeah, maybe in that area, I feel that way.
Hmm. Okay. Let me just see. I don't know. For some reason, they're like not giving me. So I'm just trying to see, like, do they just not want you to have like the full message yet? Because sometimes guides will like, they'll block certain information if you're not ready to know, or if it's not like ready to be revealed yet. So I'm just trying to find out like why. Okay, so they're just kind of saying like it'll sink, like let it sink in is what they're saying. Like let it kind of sink in. Um I hate this. I hate when we get these kind of vague answers, but they're just kind of saying like let it sink in and like more will be revealed is what they're saying. Um and I think we'll like discover more through our work, but yeah, because I'm like, I'm replaying the visual you had of the door, like I'm in that visual and I'm just trying to get the messages and they're like, I can feel the energy of it, but they're not like, for some reason, they're not giving me the interpretation of it. All I'm like, the little bit that they're giving me is like, because the first thing they said was there's this energy behind it of I can't connect. And they're saying like once she connects, it'll all make sense. And I think it actually has to do more with like you connecting more to your body and your emotions.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
that's what it's about. And they're just saying like that's where there isn't the connection. But it's all because this is on such a soul level. It's like your soul. I'm like, am I over here like forcing the answers out of them? It's like your soul is on a subconscious level is like I'm trying to connect more to myself because I know that when I do that, that's my way out. So like in trying to come out through the door, that's like your soul saying, like, I know that when I connect, that's gonna feel like me, like a release, like freedom, escape of, it's almost like you escaping your mind, essentially. It's like the pyramid became your mind, and you felt like there's part of you that like your soul feels kind of trapped in your mind and is trying to like get out. And when it does, there's going to be a sense of like, I've finally like fully connected to myself.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even like in the Akashic records in your room, it was like the reason you were feeling anxious was because your mind was trying to do the reading. It was trying to get the message, but it's not working. That's why there was this energy of I can't connect, because your mind is trying to connect and you can't connect with your mind. It's like there's no, it's like there's no Wi-Fi connection. It's like because you're trying to connect with your mind and you can't connect to the Akashic records with your mind. It has to be from your intuition, your body, your soul. But that's okay. We're going to work on that.
Okay.
Okay. Natalie, what about you? What are you seeing?
So I see that I guess he's was my husband, got into like a car accident, but I also keep seeing like I'm there washing dishes, and I mean, I'm assuming it's before cell phones because I get a knock at the door, and they were telling me like, my husband passed. And I keep asking, like, what could I have done? And all I keep hearing is literally nothing. It's not on you.
And in this visual, are you able to identify why you felt guilty or why you felt like it was your fault? I want you to ask, if you haven't, ask and see what comes up.
I did, and it's because he didn't die in the car accident. He died at the hospital, and I didn't get to the hospital on time, or like right away.
Why didn't you get there on time?
Because I was washing dishes. Something so not important.
So was it like they came and told you and you like finished and then went?
No, it's because I didn't answer like a house call, like the actual like on the wall phone call. And I was washing dishes, so I ended up answering the door.
Okay. But you didn't know. And that's what you and that life needs to know, like you didn't know. And that's okay. And it's not your fault. And it's not your burden to carry. That does not make you, because it feels like in this lifetime that's played out for you, and this feeling of like, especially in partnership, it makes you feel like you have to be there all the time, no matter what.
Yep.
And this is like letting you know, like, no, because that's the shame, that's the guilt that makes you feel like I gotta be there no matter what, because you never know what could happen. And it ties you to your partners in a way that they don't even deserve.
Oof. Yep.
So I want you to take your power back. And in this moment, I want you to, out loud, I want you to say, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
and it's not my fault.
Mm. And it's not my fault.
Say it again.
I didn't know.
Mm,
And it's not my fault.
Yeah, let that sink into your body. And when you're ready, I want you to say it one more time.
I didn't know. And it's not my fault.
You feel your power coming back in.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So go ahead and begin making your way out of your rooms. Heading back to the librarian. Giving her your key. Coming back to the doors and opening them. Closing them behind you. Going down the steps. Moving back to where you first started. Going in through the tunnel. Moving quickly through the tunnel, seeing it light and dark and light and dark. It lets you out into the galaxy. And begin to float back towards the earth. Back towards your country. Floating towards your city. Until you find your home. Floating back into your house. Back into your body. Noticing your energy coming back fully into you in this present moment. Becoming aware of the seat that's holding you. The ground that's supporting you. Becoming aware of your breathing. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How do you guys feel?
I feel very lightheaded.
That's okay. You're still grounding. One of the tricks I was just taught that actually helps is if you're on a chair, like anything with 4 legs, grab onto it, and that helps you ground faster too. So you can just grab like the leg of your chair, even like anything with 4 feet, anything with feet, actually, you can just kind of like grab it for a second, and that helps you ground a little more quickly. Yeah. Any thoughts, questions? No. And we'll keep practicing this. So, yeah, we'll keep practicing. We have our call next week again. So Talia, we do 2 calls a month. This month we're doing them back to back because of schedules. So we're doing another one next week. And the first call is more like intuitive, divine feminine energy focused. And then the second call is more business focused. So we get to like mastermind a little bit more and stuff. So yeah, any final thoughts or questions for today?
You said it's going to be on Tuesday or next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, and you should have the calendar invite, but if you can't find it, let me know and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And I'll put it in the Slack group too, so you guys have it. Yeah, we did a lot today. So rest well, eat, hydrate, reach out to me, please, if anything comes up, you need anything, I'm here, okay?
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, you ladies. Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.